So, as I stated earlier in this morning's live stream, I would be going over this morning's pre-market momentum trading that I did. So, let's go ahead and dive into my screen and we'll begin. So, LASE came up on my radar um, on the screener this morning, and it actually did really well. I noticed that the MACD had opened up aggressively during that 6 a.m. period all the way till about 6:20, and then it began to come back down. Now, I don't normally trade the back end of the MACD, but I did notice here that the MACD was beginning to open, and I figured maybe I can get another continuation. So I did buy a few shares at this level, sold as it pushed up, and then I bought here and then sold as it pushed up. So it wasn't a huge win. Um, I don't really like to hold these during that um, the open. I'd rather just trade it and get in and out. I did notice there was a lot of resistance around 389, 388. So I didn't necessarily want to hold more than that, but I sold as it pushed up. 393 was where I sold. And again, very small amount of shares. I sold at 377 and 393. I bought at 359 and 377. So we made literally just a couple of dollars, $3 or $4. But the point was to validate that this trading style works, and we're able to make some money on this. Now, this was for being 20 shares at about $4, a little less than four. To make that, I believe was it 4%? I think it was like a 4% profit. Nothing crazy. Now, what is crazy though, it actually spiked up. And it spiked up about 11:30. So that's kind of why I waited to do the recap. I wanted to see if this improved, if it got worse, or anything like that. So actually, it's pretty amazing to see that this actually pushed up substantially from where we were, even just holding it until now around 11:30, push up to 588. 588 from these lows to highs. That was a 66% profit. Some of our Discord members may have played this out because, again, we mentioned it in our morning live stream that we do every morning at market open. It's free to join, lifetime access. It's the first link in the comment if you're interested. Now, Lay's has pulled back since then from 588 down to 496. But yeah, we missed the majority of that move. I can only imagine, having a $2 profit per share, and even on 20 shares, that'd have been a quick $40. So not too bad. Again, 100 shares. If you were trading 100 shares and you bought at 4 and it pushed up to 580, you're talking, again, almost $2 a share. That puts you at, 100 shares, about $200. Next, we looked at APVO, and this one had the exact opposite effect at the open. Instead of kind of trailing on this moving average and popping up like the last one, like LASE, APVO did the exact opposite. It actually came into market open and began to sell off at the open, could not get above that moving average, and now we are sitting at a low level at 193. Now on this one, again, I just took a small trade. When I got into this morning, I noticed the MACD was open, and then it kind of closed, and then I saw it opening up a little bit. I saw this one little candle right here of hope, and I was like, maybe I'll get in right there. And I did. If you can see that little green candle on the MACD, it did cross over and it pushed up slightly. Now, I'm glad I actually got out of that because I bought at 243, 10 shares, again, just to start that light position. If it would have went up more, I could have added to it with more shares. But again, 10 shares at 243 just to start that position. Now, I like to trade with 100 shares or more, but I like to ease into it when I first start, because if you get 100 shares, it goes against you. You can lose a substantial more money than if you only had 10 shares. Does that make sense? Now, I did sell at 261, so I bought that little dip at 243, sold at 261, and it looks like it kind of tapped out about 273. So we didn't really miss anything from this, and we actually made $1.79, so it wasn't anything crazy. Again, I would have liked to have been able to play this out a little bit more. I was hoping that it would break that 258, 270, even 280 level, because then that would indicate more upward momentum. That did not happen today, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, especially on the 30 minutes. Seeing this MACD turn over at that turn of the day was a perfect indication as well that the trade was going to go against me. Now lasers, same thing with lays, the MACD is open and it's still very open. Now oversold on the RSI indicators, but still very open in general. So that would have probably, that should have been one of my points of interest this morning. I didn't like all the red volume, but yeah, this would have been maybe something I should keep an eye on in the future as far as this MACD still being open, and still being able to push up. So again, this may be another area as we speak right now at 11:56 my time. Market is at almost 2 o'clock market time. This could be another good area of opportunity. $5 buy, sell at 588, maybe 6, if it's not too overextended. But right now the MACD on the 1 minute is very oversold, and it looks like it's testing that 45 EMA. If it doesn't hold here, this will sell off. And it looks like that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to sell off. So I'm glad we were able to see that and capture it live on this recording. So anyways, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Those were the trade recaps from today. We also have a couple positions open right now. I can showcase that to you. Let's see, we have sound, which again, doing really well for our sound. We did buy at this area of support. It came all the way down, tested a new support, and has popped up ever since. So we're holding on to, a couple shares here, up almost 6%. So not bad for a really small little trade. Again, not trying to make, a ton of money. Right now, we're just trying to educate you all and get back into a routine of being consistently profitable. Okay. Cake also had a nice pullback. We bought the dip and now it's pushing up. It's above that moving average, and I would love to see this continue up even higher. We have a 2% profit on the day for that so far. And then this one as well, SoFi. Catching SoFi yesterday on this moving average. It did dip a little bit to about $26, popped back up to 27. I would have loved to buy some more at 26, but didn't. And as you can see, it pushed all the way up from that area that we bought. If I could showcase that to you from yesterday, right? We bought this area, held, and now it's way up to 28.54. Again, another 5%. So, 5% day, a 2%, and another 6%. That's 11, 12% on the day on 3 different positions. So not bad, not a bad day to be in the markets. Up over 12% on 3 different positions, and we were able to make between, I think, 4 and 6% on those pre-market trades. So again, averaging a nice 5% profit per trade is exactly what we want. I'm aiming for 10%, but if we don't get to 10, we get half of that to 5. Great. I tell my new traders and new members that maybe start with test buys. Buy 1 share of a company. Buy 1 share of, say, Intel. If you would have bought it yesterday at 24, it's up to 30. So, right, you would have made like $4 or $5 on that 1 share, and then it would have validated or confirmed that your trade idea made sense to you and that you were able to actually make some money. So, I hope this helps. I hope this was educational and informational. If you guys want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, see me either lock in profits or maybe I take a loss. We will find out in the morning on the Friday live stream. So hope to see you all there. Smash that like button for me. Let's get this video to 100 likes, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you all in the next video.